Hello. Welcome to our A Course in Miracles Study Groups series on the characteristics of God's teachers. A Course in Miracles asks us to teach only love, for that is what you are. But how can we be as patient and as giving as a flower? As deep and as powerful as the ocean? As expansive and as open as the sky? The Course asks us to become teachers of God. How do we do this?
A teacher of God is anyone who chooses to be one. His qualifications consist solely in this. Somehow, somewhere, he has made a deliberate choice in which he did not see his interests as apart from someone else's. Once he has done that, his role is established and his direction is sure. A light has entered the darkness. It may be a single light, but that is enough. He has entered an agreement with God, even if he does not yet believe in Him. He has become a bringer of salvation. He has become a teacher of God.
Once we accept forgiveness as our function and are willing to learn our forgiveness lessons, we become part of the teaching and learning of A Course in Miracles. We learn to see joining in place of separation, as in the holy relationship instead of the special relationship, through the miracle of forgiveness. This miracle always occurs in our mind, in the shift in our perception from the ego's world to God's love. It is a shift from the outer form to the inner content. This is where the teaching happens. It is not us. It is never the form that teaches. It is always the content, the extension of the Holy Spirit's love that does the teaching.
The surface traits of God's teachers are not all alike. They do not look alike to the body's eyes. They come from vastly different backgrounds. Their experiences of the world vary greatly, and their superficial personalities are quite distinct. Nor, at the beginning stages of their functioning as teachers of God, have they as yet acquired the deeper characteristics that will establish them as what they are.
The 10 characteristics of the advanced teachers of God, those who have chosen forgiveness as their function, are not listed as peace or love or freedom. Rather, they are the confirmation that we choose to say no to the ego and yes to the Holy Spirit. The task of the miracle worker is to deny the denial of truth. We do not need to seek for the truth or affirm the truth. It is there when we remove the lies that hide it. The characteristics of God's teachers are the gifts of God's love that we receive as we practice forgiveness. They then can manifest in our life. Let's look at the first one, trust.
This is the foundation on which their ability to fulfill their function rests. Perception is the result of learning. In fact, perception is learning, because cause and effect are never separated. The teachers of God have trust in the world, because they have learned it is not governed by the laws the world made up. It is governed by a power that is in them, but not of them. It is this power that keeps all things safe. It is through this power that the teachers of God look on a forgiven world. When this power has once been experienced, it is impossible to trust one's own petty strength again. Who would attempt to fly with the tiny wings of the sparrow when the mighty power of an eagle has been given them? And who would place his faith in the shabby offerings of the ego when the gifts of God are laid before him?
The Course tells us over and over that our mind is split, that we have two teachers, the ego and the Holy Spirit. And we have one choice: to choose which one to listen to choose which one to trust. After studying the Course, why would I choose the ego? Why would I choose the tiny wings of the sparrow? But I do. Every time I judge, condemn, attack, defend, play victim, or feel guilty. When I think with the ego, I am trusting it to lead me, to show me the truth the way the ego sees it, to follow its laws in this world. But in truth, the ego is only an illusion. It only lies. It denies the truth. It hides the truth, because it's based on the lie that I am separate from God. A Course in Miracles asks me to trust the truth of the Holy Spirit, that I am not separate from God, that I never could be separate from God, that I am always the self that is God's Son, that heaven is always right here. So, how do I learn to trust the truth of the Holy Spirit, to soar with the mighty power of the eagle? The Course says we develop this trust through stages of learning of what is valuable and what is not, to learn what we refuse to let go of and what we are willing to give to the Holy Spirit.
For years, I trusted myself to run the show. As a result, I found myself at the age of 36, unemployed and dependent on alcohol. My health was failing, and I was on the path to destruction. What was I to do? I needed to change. But how? By sorting out, by keeping the valuable and giving up the valueless. This process gave me a period of peace, but soon an unsettling time occurred. I knew the sorting out had become meaningless. I had to give up all judgment and instead ask only what I wanted in every circumstance. Each step in this direction is heavily reinforced. Eventually, I feel I will reach a period of achievement, with tranquility the result. It's a slow process of 2 steps forward and 1 step back, but the process quickens, and the way to heaven becomes easier and more open.
My trust grows each time I practice willingness. The Course says, trust not your good intentions. They are not enough. But trust implicitly your willingness, whatever else may enter. As I remember, the ego always speaks first. I must be willing to make the choice for the Holy Spirit's miracle of forgiveness and trust in it. I can be willing to let go of what I thought was valuable, to let go of the lie of sacrifice, to set aside all judgment, and to seek only the peace of God. Trust in the Holy Spirit. This is a gift of our willingness to forgive.